Salutations! Welcome to the conversation. I am your host, the Queen of Shade, and I would like to formally, cordially, gleefully, and joyfully welcome you to One-on-One with the Queen of Shade Season 2. There are going to be a lot of surprises in this season. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces that have been here before, and some new ones. And it's going to be an amazing journey of discovery. Remember, these are not interviews. These are inner views. Let us see what your soul looks like. So pull up a chair and don't forget to comment, like, share, and most of all, subscribe. To follow the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Queen of Shade, and you can follow the show there. There's also a podcast version of the show, but that hasn't come all the way out yet. I did a soft launch, but that will be coming out too. Season 1 was absolutely crazy. There are 253 episodes of Season 1. Yes, I was running off of pure adrenaline, pure spirit, pure excitement, and we got that done. So you can expect Season 2 to be just as magnanimous and crazy and explosive. There will be some great conversations that you will be able to take things away from and apply to your natural life. 253 episodes. Let's see what we do for Season 2. I love all of you and thank you for supporting, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, because baby, we're on this journey together. We're not on here alone. I'm not on here alone. My guests are not on here alone. You're right along with us. So once again, welcome to the conversation. Now let's get to the conversation.
You fall. The Queen of Shade.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. Mister, how's your wife and kids? Do they know you like to handle it? I say, mister, why punish your son? 'Cause his daddy likes my kind of fun. And at night you always call my phone. You're always asking if I'm all alone. And when I tell you that I need your love, you come running just to feel me up.
James Patrick, T2T Fitness.
Salutations, Queen of Shade here, coming to you with another special presentation, moving full speed ahead, talking to amazing people all over the world has been quite a treat. And it has been even more rewarding for me because this is Season 2 for me of doing so. So welcome to Season 2 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade. Listen, this young man today... Let me just keep my composure. He has been here several times and we have enjoyed a really good conversation and a meeting of the minds. We're both very busy, but we're friends offline, and we kind of text back and forth when we can. But I need you to know this guy because this guy is just someone you need to know. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to re welcome to my platform Mr. James Patrick.
the So I've always wanted one of those.
Yep.
I've always wanted one of those where I have a bunch of sounds queued up. Man, the fun that would be had.
Right, right.
You
No,
gotta tell me whatever app that is
I
or what.
will.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
let me know however you're doing that. That's dope.
So, how are you?
Just living one day at a
Okay,
time.
okay.
Yeah,
Listen. James, you got big.
yeah, for
You
sure.
got really big. See, you have graced my platform like 3 times now. And each time you know what it's giving. So you always come without a shirt. The queen, I love it. Because we can also see your progress. You know, you have a
For
business
sure.
that helps queer people get in shape and stay in shape. So that's very important. So I love when an entrepreneur is using the thing that they're selling. Like, I
Yeah.
love that so much. I do that as well. You utilize your program and it's working for you. You got so see my favorite part. Well, there are two, but we're not gonna get graphic. But my one of my two. I have two favorite parts on a man: the chest, the pecs. That is my thing. And how the hell? This is crazy. You have to explain. You have to tell me. Explain yourself.
uh, at this point, it's I'm really riding off of work that I did years ago because I think I told you I got teased for having a bird chest like a lot, and so um, when I first started working out for about a good year and a half, 2 years, every day was chest day, like 3 times a week until I fixed it, and now at this point, like I mean, like I could have good genes, but it's like it's just I've put in a lot more work on my chest than everywhere else, and so I'm actually doing less work on my chest while now I'm getting my legs right, my back, arms. That was another big thing because I started to realize, like, man, like dudes with big biceps are fucking. Excuse me,
Now you
dudes
can
with big
curse.
biceps
You can
are
curse. You can
real.
curse. You can curse.
Yeah, like that's my like. It get me, man. And so, and I really, I know it's weird, but I like being somebody that I'm attracted to. So that's my thing.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? That makes sense, James, because, I've had 20 years of therapy and they teach you if you're pursuing something in the world, you need to first be it.
Mm,
Yeah. They tell us
that's
that
real
all the time. Yeah, they tell us that all the time. Now, yes, it's true.
interesting. Yeah,
Opposites,
yeah.
like it's true, opposites do attract. But most of the time we get with someone, we get with them because we see traits of them in us and vice versa.
Mhm.
Like, each person has a certain level of weird. And it's like, okay, well, their weird is my weird. That's my energy. He can even look, I'll go even deeper. They're like, okay, well, he can match my nasty.
Yeah, for
Oh.
sure.
So it's always that.
I think it's different. I know that's weird, but I actually think it's a little different for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Only because now having married my husband and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it took me getting married to start realizing that I have a type. And I only say that just because I would have said like I don't have a type up until because I've dated. I had somebody recently tell me you look like you date white girls, and I'm like, well, you're not wrong. I have dated white girls. I've dated black girls. I've dated like everything in between. Dated a white dude. Like I've pretty much been with just about everybody, minus one or two that are coming to the top of mind. Right. The point is I have found I have an internal characteristic that like there's an internal box that I'm looking for. And for me, I'm not saying this is for everybody. I started to realize part of the reason why I really like the internal stuff that I'm attracted to is one, there's a degree of familiarity with what I was brought up with, right? Like his problems, ironically enough, mirror problems that it's almost like unresolved stuff from my past. That's like so it's like he has a bunch of the stuff, for example, the annoying traits, the things that annoy me, like my mom likes to like, he's highly affectionate, always like he's a physical touch person. And for whatever reason, it took me marrying him before I started to realize like everyone I've dated has been like that.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like I do agree that it's like, man, it is really, really helpful if you can actually begin to align yourself with who you want to be in the future. But on the whole relationship thing, man, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's a little bit more to it sometimes, at least for me. But I tend to be like over the
I'm
top on some
glad. No,
stuff.
I'm glad though. But
Yeah.
you know what's so funny? Like people, it's so weird because I remember being in high school and I remember being in college, and I definitely have a type. I definitely
Oh, you
do.
do?
Yeah, I
What's
do.
your type?
I was getting ready to say something and I'm don't cut up. See, we're friends. So I'm
Oh,
like,
look, I was gonna
so
say, look,
freely.
like less filter is usually
I'm
better.
getting ready, I was like, I'm getting ready to speak freely.
Why
No, but
not?
yeah, no, but well, my type is you have to be in shape. Like I used to love really
Yeah.
football players. You have to be in shape,
Mm.
but as far as that, like have one,
Have one,
have a dick.
one.
Just
Okay, gotcha.
just have a
Yeah,
dick. Just have a dick.
yeah,
Just have a dick.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
it for me. Are you hot? Are you smart? These are great things. Have a dick and we're good.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
I
yeah,
would. Well, so have a dick. Like, I'm. Mine is you got to have a thick dick,
yeah.
a
Oh,
big dick. I actually don't really care for just like long dicks, right? Like, I've started to realize the whole term of pencil dick actually is a thing, especially like in our relationship, we choose to be open, right? And so it's like, man, some of the adventures we have had, man, and the jokes that we have said about different experiences, man. But yeah, like I've started to realize, like, especially, man, as because I was not really like open and bottoming until like now I'm like with somebody that I'm gonna be with for a minute.
yeah,
But uh I didn't realize it's the combo of length and girth that really gets it, you know? Like
yeah.
you need both. You need both, man. Like I mean like no shade to people who don't. Like I think more power to you if you can not have a big dick and still hold it down, man. But like I think it's a major plus if you do, for
Yeah,
sure.
you know what? You know what's so funny? And all us all us black men really we're it's not even just a stereotype for us. We measure ourselves that way. So, we take stock of our lives and our, ability to get men that way. So get this. I was blessed with 7.5.
Nice.
So it's not big, it's not small, but it's a grower. But get this. That's why I love that you brought that up because with me,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the shape. I don't know. Like literally, it causes sensation in men. Like literally, men that I have been with, they ejaculate like that,
crazy.
and
You
like
might have a
literally,
curve or something, you know
no,
what
it's not a curve. It's pencil straight. It's pencil, but it's not
I
pencil
mean?
thick. It's pencil straight, but it's
For
not. It's
sure.
not. It's not a curve. No, but literally, I know
Like,
it's crazy. This is what we're talking about. I told you it could be conversation with whatever we
nah,
talk.
dicks, you
Whatever we
know?
talk about. No, but like literally, I remember because I remember like years ago because I've been celibate for a really long time. It's been like 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. But anyway, what happens is I remember back in my heyday, 2022, 23, when I was screwing everything that I couldn't nail down, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I remember a guy, he was like a really masculine guy, and he decided, oh, you're not that big. I can handle you. I'll try it with you. I got a lot of that. I had a lot of that happen in my
yeah,
life.
yeah, for
A
sure.
lot of men were like, oh, I'll try it with you. It's cool. And then we get into it and they're like, whoa, whoa, what are you doing back there? What are you doing? And like literally, I had a guy like yell, oh my God. He scared me because these guys are bigger than me. They look like
For
huge
sure. For sure.
muscular. They're. So
For
he's.
sure.
I was fit, but I wasn't as big as he was. So he was like, yo, 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 like stop, stop, stop. And I'm like, and
You
me,
weren't ready for it.
I listened. So when he first said stop, I was like, oh, like I immediately.
Yeah,
So
for
I'm
sure.
like, is everything all right? He was like, nah, man, I never felt like he was mad. He was a black guy. He was mad. He was like, yo, I never felt a sensation like that back there. He was like, you had me about to come. Like, he was like, you had me about to come. And I never came without touching myself. Like, that's what he was saying to me.
I would have paid to have been in that room to say some shit.
Yo, no, so listen. So what I did, see, my stupid, I'm a nerd. See, I'm a nerd. So I said, a nerd and a biologist. So I said, oh, well, we need more test subjects. So
Mm.
to
For sure.
see if
For
this
sure.
is something he
Thing.
said or something they said. And no, I slept with 85 men the summer of 2009.
Oh,
85.
you were getting it.
Yeah, you know,
You were getting
a
it.
summer is 90 days. I slept with 85 men. And like some were two at a time. But the
Oh,
thing
you were
about
getting
it
it.
was like, but the thing about it was is I was doing like I was okay. You have this too. You have an impeccable work ethic. Anything you put your
Mhm.
mind to, you get it done. It's not about doing it, it's about getting it done. So
Mhm.
with me, I'm so focused. Like people say it in my work. You know, I have over 50,000 monologues. I have so much content. That's
Mhm.
who I am. So I was, oh my God, I was going through the numbers. And the thing about it wasn't like, and I'm glad I get to open up about this because it wasn't like I was just meeting them on the apps and they would come over to my house because I was hosting at that time. I lived in the center of my city, which was a nice area. So they were always like down to come to my house. So,
Mhm.
and I always met them in socks and underwear. That was my thing. Brand new socks, brand new underwear. That was
Yeah.
the body. Because the voice, that was the thing. I knew the voice would fuck me up. So I was like, I got to get you in this house before you start having problems with this voice. So I had to listen. It was a jungle out there. I had to learn how to survive. This voice it turned men off because they were like, "Yo, it's really feminine.
Really?
It's beautiful, but it's feminine." Yeah, please, all my life. But get this, not
Huh.
every man. So this is what I was going to say. Now up to what I was saying. So I get really uber masculine presenting men. That is what it is. And it's not even really something that I'm bragging about, but I have always been the exception to their rule. I have always
Mm.
been. But that also
Hmm.
brought up some things that I had to tackle in therapy because I had to accept the fact that I'm a good time, not a long time. They were treating me that way. You're a fun experience. You're something memorable. I'm memorable. But and I mean, I later realized that I was putting out that energy. Oh, I'm not here for a long time.
For
So
sure.
it
For
wasn't
sure.
really just them. You
For
know,
sure.
it was me. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
And I realized that. But the men in my, like at college and things like that, they look like you. I never had a problem. Never had a
Yeah.
problem. It was hard getting out of that school, not being like to get out of that college and stay a virgin. It was hard. It was hard, but I did it. I did it. I did not.
Really?
Yes, I did it.
Mhm.
I did, and I had a boy I was in love with. We talked every
Mm-mm.
night. He was a wide receiver on the team, football team. And
Mm.
literally, I managed to escape and that I don't, and to this day, that is something that baffles me because I had grown men come to me and was like, I know you up here. I know they want you to catch everything coming around here. But I had people that protected me and I also was still close. I was a gospel choir leader. Like I
Mhm.
stayed close to people that would protect me. But
Yeah.
like I remember I used to get the crazy phone calls. My friend, quote unquote, you supposed to be my friend. And I remember this one time. I'm not gonna call his name. I'm not gonna call his name. But he's talking to me, and we had like jazz intro to like jazz theory or something together, something musical.
Mhm.
And so we were talking about the assignments, and he paired up with me. I didn't realize that, but someone told me before college, like, be careful because they gonna really want you. They gonna talk about you like a dog, but they gonna want you. So I kind of was like on to it. So when it
Yeah.
started to happen, I was like, oh, they were right. But I'm talking to him. He called me one night and he's like, man. And I'm looking out the bay windows because I lived in a good dorm. I lived in like the beautiful dorm that everybody wanted to be in. We literally had two dorms where all the blacks chose to live. They were called
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, they were called Wilkinson and Nair. They were these two tall high-rise buildings, and we called them the
Mm.
projects. We called them the projects.
Mm.
Well, we called them the projects because they were literally like right on the skirts of the outskirts of the campus. And it were these
Huh.
two buildings and everything went down there. You like get it. All the young cheerleaders,
Crazy.
all the white girls, they all ran down there. We knew where they
For
were.
sure.
They
For
were
sure.
all down there. So like I'm in my dorm room and he's like, yo, because my name before I changed it to Bjorn was Kali. So he's on the
Oh,
phone.
crazy.
Yeah. I did all that stuff. I'm a star. I'm a star. So I changed the name, everything. So he's like, man, Kali. And I'm like, what? He was like, I need my dick sucked. So I kept talking. I kept like literally, and that was another thing too. I was oblivious to a lot of shit. You got like literally, you gotta stop me. You gotta like grab me right now and say, you, me. like,
Oh no,
let's do.
that's a pretty big fun. That's a pretty big signal right
Yes!
there.
No,
Like,
so get it. So get it. When I didn't respond the first time, he repeated it. He
yeah,
said, I need my, like, man, I need my dick sucked. So I said to him, you live in there. You better call one of them white girls over there and get that handled with. Like, I,
yeah,
I had no idea he was talking about me. He was so mad too. He left school after that too. He came back, but it was like, yeah,
hmm.
like it was a thing. Like a lot of the guys were like trying to get me, but I had good, wholesome values. I knew I
That's
was
cool.
gay.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was gay, but I wasn't a freak yet. I was a virgin. Like
Hmm.
I was a virgin. So I remember summer session of year two, sophomore year, I met a guy from like I went to Clarion University, which is right near Pittsburgh, about an hour from Pittsburgh.
Hmm.
But I met a guy who was in Ohio, and
Hmm.
I was on Black Planet, child. That's how old I am. I was on Black Planet when Black Planet was real popping, like popping. I was on Black Planet and I met him and he drove, it was far. He drove from Ohio to me. And my thing was, I wasn't on campus. And this was the craziest thing. I'm telling this story now. See, you snooze, you lose. So the guy that I was in love with was on campus because it was football, like it started football camp, but he wasn't. He act like I wasn't getting the signs. Like I was ready at that point, and he acted like he wasn't giving me the signs. So I said, okay, he's not interested. And I told you my mentality. I handle it. I get it done. So this young man came, and my first time I was a bottom. So, and I did that a lot during my sexual escapades. That I'm saying this for that reason. I did that a lot because I thought that was how you keep a man, get him interested. You
Uh,
like that's what they say. You're feminine, so you gotta be real. You gotta do this. You want masculine men. You gotta do this. I later found out that that was so far from the truth, but but yeah, like he came and it was so beautiful. And I remember like I went to, all we had out there was a Walmart. I went to the Walmart and he drove to the Walmart and I was like, I just need to get some things. So I got like jasmine scented massage oil.
oh,
It was
jeez.
and now mind you, it's my first time.
Yeah.
I'm massaging him. I'm relaxing him. A top, a top of mind, even when I wasn't a top of body. Like, do you get that though? Like, I was setting the scene up. I was in control of the scene. So I'm massaging him. I'm legs, arms, feet. Like, I'm on his back. I'm doing all this. He like, oh my God. Like, he was like, whoa, like it, he always was like, he even said to me, because he said like now, like, cause I was so relaxed by doing that to him that when it was time for us to have sex, he was like, you never did this before? I was like, no. He was like, your body is so relaxed. He's like, you're not even fighting me. He was like, we have a thing for people that if I could just slide right in. But he was like, I could tell that even in sliding in, you've never had this happen. He said, but your body welcomed me. And I was like, because I set the tone. I set the tone. So I said that to say this now, fast forwarding. to 2008, it wasn't like I was just running through niggas. I turn around and I would bring them over. And when I saw them, it was like, okay, you already saw the body. You know that this is what you came for. So they saw that. So then I would sit them down for about an hour and talk to them and talk about life and do this, talk about life. I was 23, 24, and I would talk to them. And my favorite part of that was you got to see them, because most of them were Black and Latin, you got to see them relax. Because, when we're doing hookups and stuff like that, I learned this from being a female phone sex agent. When we're going to have sex, we get into character. They don't know that about guys. We get into character. We become something. We become someone. We become the hero. We become the gladiator. We become the lamb. Like, there's a lot of psychological foreplay to sex with guys, and people don't realize that because they think, oh, he just took his pants down. No, he had to become someone to do that and get it. It's not even about most of the time, I'm going to say, it's not even about the person behind them. It's not even about that person. It's the fantasy. And this person fits that fantasy. Now, I've had times where I was totally focused on that one person. Oh God, yes. But like, I would sit and talk to them, and my favorite thing to do once I saw them relax was to make them nervous again. Because I would be like, now you ready? And they would go right back into, but many of them, but you know what was so great? Most of them would be like, when I would talk to them and I was, are you ready? They would be like, like they wanted it by that point because they got
Yeah.
to know me. They got to know me and get it. I'm the worst because I was experimenting. I was, okay, this man said this to me. Let me see if this is the general consensus. And it was. But like literally, that was fun. People be, oh, she's a hoe. She this, that was fun. Like when I tell you that was fun, when I tell you that was fun, that was fun. I
I
wrapped it up.
bet.
I had a cat litter box. Because I had cats, so I had an unused cat litter box that was real deep, and I would go around to like the safe sex places and steal all the condoms, put them in my backpack and stuff like that. So I went. When you came in my house, literally when you literally walked through the door, James, you saw a big ass gallon of lube and fucking a cat litter box full of condoms of every color sitting on the floor in the corner next to the sofa, prominent. Like this is what. Yeah, I have
That's where
literally.
you were.
Yeah, like I literally, and every one of them said, "You're gonna call me again, right?" And I was like, that always threw me. That always threw me because I'm like, they don't want me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, a lot of these guys don't even know that I'm the same guy they rejected 3 years ago, but now I got a body and I just fucked you stupid and I wanted you to be my top. Now I was your top and you don't even know it was you. You don't even know that you knew me before. Like, so I would never call back. And I had a lot of men mad. And when I became the queen, I actually took the hiatus because I didn't want that to all come out. Like, like the Queen of Shade
Gotcha.
building a brand. So I ain't want niggas out that woodwork like, oh. So I
Yeah.
let 10 years go by. And then I started telling the story. But I had plenty of men come to me on social media and be like, you were one of the best times I ever had. Thank you. And I'm like, because I don't
That's
remember.
cool.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I don't remember names. I don't remember faces. I don't remember. But they remembered and they would be like, Queen, like we had a really good time, and I'm like, okay. Because we did, like, but I always curated that experience. So now give me the inverse of that because you said, you and your husband are open. I'm not trying to get in your relationship. Y'all are open. So like
Yeah, yeah.
tell me where it goes. Like, because you said he's touchy. Like, so who do you become when he's touchy? Like, how do you initiate that? Is that just something that just
Mhm.
like, because I'm asking for
Yeah, yeah.
myself because I never understood that. I'm like, okay, well, when do we have the conversation about dating? When do we have the conversation about going steady? How do I say to you, I want to have sex with you? Like, I didn't have anybody around me to do that. Like, even to this day,
Yeah.
if I wasn't on a site that I could text, let's have sex.
Hmm. Mm. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna. By the way, I don't ever say stuff like, "Oh, this is how everyone should do it," because I know I'm super weird, and this is probably not how most people do it. But for me, because I know that I'm awkward, I kind of just really lean into that. And one of my phrases is when people are like, "Oh, like how should I say this?" and I'm like, "However it needs to be said." Like that's the best way to say it. Like, and it's the truth, like to me. And so I tend to, when it comes down to bringing up sex, like I usually say it, and then I'll just have this goofy ass smile after, to where it's like it's kind of hard for the other person to be like, they know I'm serious as fuck, but it's like, so you want to do this or not? You know? And ironically enough, like that's, I started doing that when I was with girls, just because I didn't know how to advance it really to get to where I wanted it to go. And I'll tell you, it's pretty much been the same with me as far as with guys. Is like, if I want to, I make my intentions known, and of course, like let's say like time or place is not right, and so like the other person like, oh no, you just being silly, like ha ha ha, and then I'll like change the subject and we talk about it. But before I leave, like we're gonna slide that in one more time. Hey, I just want you to know I'm serious. And then like, so do you exchange information or not? Like, what do you want to do? And yeah, man, made a lot of friends that way. As far as the open relationship, could you give me more something more specific so I can actually narrow it?
Get this. You answered it.
Oh, cool.
I didn't need to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
yeah, I didn't even need you to
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you answered it. Like you that's what I was looking for, not really
Oh, cool.
a,
Yeah, yeah.
a schematic of what was going on in your relationship. That's what you said, and
Cool. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
beautiful. No,
Communication
we don't do that
is
here. No.
key. Oh, I'm whatever you guys want to talk about. But yeah,
No.
like I'm big on communication. I think that's like even down to, so that's
I just
how
don't
we
want to
got
be
into it.
wrong. That's my thing. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be giving a guy. He's like, no, I don't see you like that. I never had that happen, but still,
Okay.
it could happen.
I have.
Yeah.
I've actually, yeah, I've been rejected a lot of times actually.
Yeah.
Like for me, just because, at least for me, especially while I was figuring out what to say or how to be, like it's like
Yeah.
I've got rejected a bunch. Especially, man, girls are quick to like say
Yeah.
something. And like by the time I started talking to guys, I kind of had me and how I kind of handle things down, but I've been rejected a bunch, even by some guys, like, and that's cool too. But
Please.
for me, this is my belief is I would rather know sooner than later. So either way, you just shorten the amount of time that I have to spend here, and I can now talk to somebody else. And so it's a win for me either way. But yeah,
Wow.
I don't really
You're a seeker. You
look.
like he's
Oh,
seeking this out.
so I joke about it, but I think there's like guys that are more like hunting, and I would put myself in that category, to where like a lot of my excitement comes from like getting like the pursuit and getting it. And there are guys who perfect the art of like being a Venus flytrap, where you just like, you look real pretty, like you got the body and stuff like that, so people come to you. um I think girls play similar games, but like that's what the two type of guys that I think. And it's like, of course everything's a spectrum, but yeah, nah, I am definitely a hunter. Like I like the pursuit for sure. It's fun.
You nailed it. And you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
So am I. I'm not a Venus.
Yeah.
I like to hunt,
Yeah,
and I like a little
it's fun.
resistance. I'm just saying,
Oh yeah.
I like a little resistance in verbiage, not in physicality. Like, oh no, this is right. Like, no, 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 no. I had to
That
clear
is
it up.
not how I took that.
Yeah, I had to clear it up. I had to
Not how
clear
I
it
took
up.
that.
I had to
Yeah,
clear it up.
nah.
Like, oh, no, no. I said no.
Nah.
No means no. You know, like I had to clear it up. No, so get this. While he laughs at me and I laugh
I
at
just went, I didn't see it coming. That was cool.
right? This show is quick. So get this. The reason, so let me look at the camera. The reason why I am speaking to him like this is James has a very popular Instagram page where he does like gay comedy and satire. So he's always talking like this. Everyone has come to love him for this banter. So that's why, they like, why are they talking about this? It's what he does outside of helping queer people get and stay fit. So this is why I'm staying right here, because I'm keeping him where he's famous. He's
I mean,
famous
like,
for his satire.
we could talk about anything, but I'll let you know. I think one of the most interesting things is people, almost, I think that most people think that it's a character or a facade. This is actually, if you meet me in real life, this is actually how I conduct myself. Real calm, cool, collected, and like if we're having a good conversation, like of course it can get deep, but I never want it to be too serious. So I'll probably slide a dick joke in there just like randomly. You'll be like, it just catches people off guard just because it's funny to me. And I mean, like most of my friendships, like at this point, that's just kind of where I'm at. Is I do things that are in alignment with just me being me, and most people are cool with it. I can't think of anybody top of mind that I'm around that doesn't really accept me for being me. So it makes it easy because I don't have to wear a mask as much as I used to.
Yeah.
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 Super helpful.
It's so beautiful too, because a lot of young gays are going to see this and they're going to go, damn, he's very successful. How does he do that? But you just answered this question too. I'm just highlighting it as well. But what you said was very key and very important. See, some of us, when these gays and we don't know who we are and we haven't, necessarily come into our fitness self and this is that and the other, we're hit or missing. So those people that we're with, even if it is a score, we don't become friends with. We kind of don't see them anymore. It was a hookup, is what people say. But from what I'm hearing from you is, like you said, you're a true hunter. So you've studied this person's mannerism, mood. You've determined that not only is this person good for sex, but other things as well. And that's what I notice.
Small twist. So
Uh-huh.
not disagreeing. Small twist
Uh-huh.
though. For me, one thing that I found that a lot of guys, because ironically enough, when I started the page, I felt about myself how I feel now. Where now I look at myself and I'm like, I look fucking great. I'm proud of me, right? I felt that 2, 3 years ago when I was like much, much smaller, like a swimmer's build, like, and so it's like, what I found is most guys who actually do hit a spot where they're proud of how they look, unfortunately, they become assholes. And so I think, become very superficial, and it's easier to develop a thing where it's like you actually start to judge people on things that are less important to you, or let me say less important to me in the long term. And so I know a lot of people that don't look nearly as good as me that value, I won't, if they don't look, I'm not, and like, and that's cool. But for me, and I think that if you were to even talk to some of the people local around here, like it's like, they'll let you know, like, for the most part, for the most part, like, of course, like, I do have likes and dislikes like everybody else, but like, I've had a lot of people been like, I'm actually surprised you even talked to me. And I'm like, dude, like, I think you're a cool dude, like, personally, like, for me. And for me, I think, like, I can find something about anybody that I like, to be honest. And so it's like, because of that, like I can focus on like, yeah, you have a nice ass, but it's like I like you as a person. And so, for example, with my husband, we hooked up, and it wasn't gonna be this long term thing. It just so happened like we hooked up, and like most people, after I hook up, we have a conversation about just random stuff, like, and he wanted to learn English, I wanted to learn Spanish. Okay, and I found out, oh, you're like 4 minutes around the corner. Like, oh, this is cool. Like, so we should do this more. And we just kept having conversations, and I realized, like, oh man, this person is actually really cool. And from a physical aspect, I wasn't really looking for anything at the time. I was dating him and a girl, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, but it's like, for me, that's the biggest thing. Is I think that for me, what's important is the person, and then the physical is a part of that. Like, it's like, it's the same thing like people who try to get with people for money. Like, that's stupid. To me, getting with someone for money, for physical, for anything that's outside of like who that person is, I think is stupid. And if it's solely just sex, that's cool, right? Like, then it's like, but if you actually want to build relationships past that, I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't hold. If you go that way, it doesn't hold. There you will be alone. You will be the queen that ends up old and alone. No
Yeah,
friends, no
for sure.
family, no nothing. You know,
Yeah,
that's the crazy.
on accident though. That's the
Yeah.
worst part. It's the worst part. You'll behave. Okay, for example, and I'm thinking of somebody very specific right now. Wants to be in a deep rooted, connected relationship, however, behaves in in ways that every time any time a person gets close, guard up, irrational behavior, like, and it's the weirdest thing because logically the person can tell you what they want, but behaves in completely opposite ways unintentionally, just for whatever reason. It's I think it's just hard to get over yourself sometimes
Yeah,
and
they can't get
decide
out of
like
their own
you're actually
way.
ready. Yeah, for
Out of
sure.
their own way.
Yeah,
That's not
to say
that.
it that way.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, and
But you see it a lot though.
yes, I was gonna
You see
say
it a
a
lot
lot,
though.
especially in our community. In our community, see,
Strong
yeah,
black men who tend to isolate, right? Like that's a huge thing. Guys who wish that they could actually talk to their partner, but again, like, just don't know how to. Uh, I mean, I'm sure you could use money or like physical for as examples as well, but it's like people who want to be fit, but like for whatever reason can't follow through and like it's like can't get out of their own way. It's like it's weird. Weird. People are weird, man, and
yeah.
it is what it is.
No, you're right. And you know what's so crazy? I believe that if you start with good stock, you'll end up with good stock. And I like even with me when I had my heyday, which will be coming back. Oh, it will be.
Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, I didn't work this hard for 12 years to turn around and shrivel up. No, but like, yeah, but no, like I find that, even with the men that I did that with, I needed the connection. And I thought, and that was
Mm,
the thing, I had to get a better body, take care of myself, get a really nice apartment to get them into the door because literally they would look at me at face value and say no. And say no. Now, mind you, I was a
mm.
model. I was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, especially young, tight. And the thing was, they would be like, no, man, I just don't see you that way. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I got that a lot. Then I turned around and got in the gym and started beating up some weights.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. Oh my God, yo, I'll never forget. I was working out. Well, actually, because I got off, okay, because I worked my phone sex job from midnight to 6 a.m. So I did that all night. So then from six, so about like 6:30, I was already on the bus because it wasn't that far. I lived in Center City, but I didn't want to take the bus to that. I didn't want to walk to that gym. It was further. So I would take the bus, and by 7, I was already suited up and ready
Hmm.
to work. But what happened was one of the trainers saw me in there and was like, "Oh, you're new. When you been here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been here
Yeah.
working this body out, and I've been here for a while now. If, as you can see, like the yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I can see. Okay." So he was like, "Do you need a trainer or anything?" I'm like, "No, I don't need a trainer." And he's like, all right, no problem." He was like, "Well, listen, like." Um, the gym is real quiet in the morning. If you can come extra early, if
Shooting a shot.
yeah. So get this. Now, mind you, that day I left work 45 minutes early. So it was
Hmm.
around, still at five something. So I was at the gym by the time, like right before it opened. I think I got there and I was like, funny thing was he was there at the counter, glass windows. So I saw him. He was there at the counter. So he saw me. He was like, so I'm like, all right, hey, how you doing? He's gonna let me in. So we're there, and I noticed he locked the door behind me because this is, I'm not, it
Yeah.
hasn't opened yet. But he's like, you can come in and get dressed and
Oh, for
stuff
sure. For
like
sure.
that, while we get ready to open.
Did you guys hook up? 78% of the trainers sleep with their clients, by the way. Like, apparently, I didn't know that until recently. That's a lot. Gotcha. Okay. So, do you mind if I make a comment real quick?
I'm gonna tell you. Oh no, I'm gonna
Okay.
tell
Cool.
you because I know everybody like, bitch. I know she's not gonna decide to get tight lipped now. She talking how she talk now. So I go to change in the locker room.
Hmm.
He put on the music, so you can't really hear nothing. So he put on the music, and I mean, he was a gorgeous black man too. He was a gorgeous black man.
Hmm.
So next thing I know, he comes in the locker, and I'm suited, and that was the thing about me. Like I always wore like compression stuff or
Hmm.
shorts or stuff like that. So I'm gonna tell you, so y'all better get ready. So what happens is he's like, "Oh, have you checked out the sauna?" I was like, "No, I never used the sauna." He's like, "Oh, well, it's really good for after your workouts and stuff like that." Yeah. Now, mind you, I know, just like you doing right
Right.
now, I'm doing that inside.
Not black. Yeah,
Nah,
you're right.
I
No,
done
you're
slept with
right.
85 men. All
No,
right,
you're
I done
right.
slept with
Not
85
like
men.
you're right.
All right, so I go in the sauna, and he's like, "Yeah." So I notice he gets nervous because I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool. I'm just sitting there." So he doesn't know how to get it to go to the next level. That's why I said this.
Mm.
He doesn't know. So he keeps coming out. I'm like, "Oh, you gotta go. You gotta open up and stuff like that." He's like, "No, I open up in 20 minutes." I'm like, "All right." But he keep going out the sauna and checking, looking at the window, make sure nobody's coming, and saying like, "Oh, so you like it? Like, do you like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like it." So he's like, "You really like it?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I like it. It's cool." He's like, "Good. I'm glad you like it." Drops his pants and shoves his dick in my mouth.
Oh, well, I'm glad that was received well because I mean, like, I feel like there should have been a bridge between that, but it worked. You know what I mean? That's one way to do it, I guess.
The only reason why it worked
Jeez.
was because they'll get it. The only reason why it worked was because, like you, I knew the day before when he asked me to come early
Right.
what it was going to be. Now we didn't end up.
Yeah.
We hooked up, but we didn't end up having sex, and that was the thing.
Okay.
Get it? He was so this. Here we go again. This narrative. He was so excited touching me, my body. I guess he had watched me for a while. So he was so excited touching me that he touched me and he came.
Huh.
Literally
I want to
rolled.
make a comment on the one of the things you mentioned. I think it's like a weird thing that I think it's twofold. Yes, there is a barrier to entry
Yeah,
with especially a lot of guys for them to notice you,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
And for better or for worse, I think it's like with guys being visually wired, that is a thing.
Yep.
And I think that rather than trying to fight that or say that the culture is wrong or it's something wrong with culture, like, oh no, like you're just shaming me. Like, no, bro, it's just like hardwired and dudes like visual creatures, right? I think it'd be better to just like you could also work on yourself too. Um, which is why we're here, right?
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say, which is why you're
right,
here.
which is why I have a whole company to help, right?
Own company.
But number two is also I think it's a ironic like self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe something is the case, like one of those things that here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
Like if you believe that's the case, again, unfortunately, usually you behave in ways to make that true. Similar to, and I think that's also part of why, like even after you change your body, sometimes there are some dudes who still have issues just because, again, how they used to be treated, they still haven't outgrown that. They don't have enough evidence of that they can get different yet, and so they still behave in the same way. And so
They
it's like
that
I think
guy,
it's a weird thing, man.
they still see that old guy in the mirror. They still see that
Hmm.
old guy
They
in the
in their
body.
mind they're still fat, in their mind they're still skinny, and so or in their mind they're still gonna have a hard time, and so it's almost like they're surprised when good happens, and then they'll self-fulfilling prophecy until something bad happens, right? Or like latch on to the one. Here's the craziest thing, and you already know this about becoming successful. Hardest part, in my opinion, is to be willing to go through a series of failures, and then you get the one that went the way you wanted it. And going through the failures doesn't mean it's not a reflection of you; it's just a process.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
just is the process of like, okay, getting good at something or anything else. And
yeah.
so I think it's crazy that a lot of people don't realize that. And so they'll say stuff like they'll label themselves or give themselves stuff that keep themselves stuck a lot.
And you know what's so funny? And I'm glad you brought that up because I can get candid here. You know, I when I was younger, the reason why I believe that I was here for a good time and not a long time is different from now. Back then,
Mm,
I thought it was all I could get. I thought I was a
mm,
good fuck and that being a good fuck was all I was going to be, even though I desperately desired male
yeah,
friendship, kinship, the whole
yeah.
9 yards. And I felt like I wasn't going to get that. Now, on the other side of 40, being 42 years old, being an
Hmm.
entrepreneur, no longer
Congratulations. Yeah.
having a consumer mentality. Thank you for the congratulations. We could congratulate each other, actually. So
For
congratulations
sure.
on that for you,
I'm
bro.
not, look, I got a decade, you know, look, I'm not too far behind. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, you'll get there and it's
Hopefully.
gonna be amazing for you.
Hopefully.
But like I now am a good time, not a long time, because of all that is invested. I gotta have first of all, now,
Yeah.
now, if we're even talking NDA, like literally, like it is so people
Yeah.
don't understand the level of being a business and having a business that is in the public eye. Like there is so much the screening,
uh,
the
yeah.
crap, the this, the that. Like there's so much now that I said I I don't want to go through that with people that I meet off the street or in a
Hmm.
club. I want them already vetted, which is why I will forever say I will hire escorts and gay for pay men because with them, they know and I know it's going to happen. Now it's up to me as to when it happens. So if I want to show you my rock collection, you gonna look at my rock collection until I'm ready.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. I'm
Hey,
proud of
speaking
that.
of, no, speaking of, I got a buddy who's an escort over in,
Mm,
I think it's like Hong Kong right now, man. He says
uh,
it's a great time, man.
uh.
Great time, and apparently you make good money doing it.
Oh
I didn't
God,
know.
oh God, you can make so
I
much,
didn't know. Yeah,
so much. Like what I mean, so much. Like yo,
he
and
makes good money.
because there are levels to the shit. There are levels to the shit. A lot of the boys I used to know that were on Adam for Adam and stuff like that, they were escorts and shit, but they were like low budget, $150. No, no,
You make
no.
money.
The evening, the evening, a full service evening, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000. Like, yeah,
I
you
think it's wild.
get it. Like, people don't understand. Like I'm saying, this also ties into the entrepreneurial shit. Everything I have, everything I am, I paid for. My
Hmm.
following didn't pay for this. I didn't go viral and have the company already ready. I didn't get the chance to maximize my viral moment because when it happened, I had to play catch up. I had to start the LLCs. I had to do all of that. My viral moment happened and I did not capitalize off of it. And I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm working toward my next viral moment because this time I'm just going to sit back and say, click the link in the bio because
Yeah,
everything is
yeah.
done. Everything is done. So I approach the same
Huh.
mentality when it comes to men. Like, I am so specific about fitness. Like I'm so specific about fitness. I'm so excited too because I'm relaunching my fitness journey because
Yeah.
literally for a decade, I told you that the last time. The like literally for a decade, 12 years actually, I've been chained to my desk building
Hmm.
this brand to the
Hmm.
magnitude and the caliber that it is now. And I was doing monologues because I do the monologues before I sit down and do this. I don't like to waste a look. So I
Hmm.
multitask.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So even in the monologues, I was talking about the fact that, it took so long to get here, but it was done right. The foundation was laid and I'm achieving things now. So even in my sexual life, it needs to be a certain caliber. It needs to have the same feel to me. Like literally, because literally, I can sit with a guy. Oh, please. I can sit with a guy, totally be talking about deep shit, fuck him, and go back to talking about deep shit. And it won't be, it won't even be like, oh, we stopped and we did this. No, it was a part of the fucking situation. Like, I'm that sexually fluid. Like with men,
Yeah.
like, I'm that sexually fluid. Like, I, one thing I've never had a problem with is the art of seduction.
Mm.
But my thing is, I need to know that you want me. And I would always come across men whom didn't know how to send that signal. but because of the type of man it was, I don't do DLs, but that's what I was attracting. And, I was attracting a lot of men who were macho. So they didn't always have the language that I had to be able
Mhm.
to articulate and expound on what was going on and what was happening. So I found that I had to think for both of us. So I do that.
Mhm.
And now I'm so busy and will be busy because building it was hard. But what's going to be harder is the maintenance of it, maintaining it. Like, I'm going to segue here for a second. Little do you know, I literally look at everything that comes into my business and goes out of my business.
Mhm.
And you, mister, you don't even know, you made me cry the other morning because I
Hopefully in a good
literally
way.
did it, but it was happy tears because I woke up to you saying, "Hey, I had a client that signed up for my
No, yeah.
business through you." And then you said, "Where can I send you money?" And I was like, and I said something to you, and you were like, "Hey, I would want somebody to look out for me like that." And
Mhm.
I was like, and immediately I was like, what made me cry? I was like, see, value. This man values me. That I need that every time. In
I
every
just don't want to be a piece of shit.
action. Well, no, well, we all know you're not a piece of shit. No, 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 no.
No, I mean,
Not-
like, I think there are a lot of people who would have been like, "Oh man, like, just because you don't have to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do." And
Right.
so it's like, um, I mean, like, and for me, it's like if I know a lead came from a source, like,
Yeah.
the least I can do is send the money. It's like, save me on ad costs, you know, like, so
Yeah.
it's like,
No, but
yeah, nah,
right. You're
yeah.
right though. But
Same
you're
thing with referrals with clients, and like I pay them, like I don't.
what I was getting ready to say.
Uh, yeah, like I don't do that. Like that's I found that like be someone you're proud of, or be someone that you like that actually makes you proud is like the motto for me is like, and that's what drives me to do a lot of things. And for me, as far as with business, it's like especially with business, it's a huge game, but at the same point, it's like depending on where you're at, it's like it's not a ton of players depending on where you're at, and
Mine.
that well, let me say players that matter, players that are actually going to be here, players that are, and for me, it's like, um, and here's the craziest thing, especially if you're a person like me, I'm so focused on doing what I'm doing that it's like I'm not studying the rest of the game. So it's better just to treat everybody right. If they treat me wrong in the future, like, hey, like, but like, oftentimes I find by just focusing on doing the right thing and focus on that, you'll outgrow them at some point anyway. Like, and they'll fade into like not
Yeah,
mattering.
they'll fade
So
into nothingness. Yes, they will. But
yeah.
it's so funny that you say that because that's my nephew said it to me the other day because he knows my grandmother knows about the escorts and all the stuff I want. She's like, yeah,
Mhm.
you want like I. She even said something. She's like, why do you? She's like, I'm so glad you don't want no boyfriend because she's like, you're so busy. And she was like, yeah, the escort. Like my own grandmother, 77 years old, was like, yeah, the escorts are gonna work for you. Literally, they're gonna work. That's gonna work for you because
Mhm.
I need in my business. I provide the same feeling consistently all the time.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's what people don't understand about becoming a master of your business and a master of your craft. You have to get so good at something that every time you supply it, it's good. And it's to that level.
Yeah,
It doesn't go down. Like the weed man, you taste the weed and you're like, oh no, this ain't the same as you got
for
last
sure.
time. Like I don't do that. I have mastered the ability and the art of being that steady and stable and nuanced and new and inventive and providing you that same feeling every time. So I need that in
Yeah.
return. I don't ever want to have a situation where I feel undervalued. I just and get it. I'm so serious and adamant about it. And my nephew was saying you're set in your ways already because I'm so serious and adamant about who's around me, how they are around me, when they're around me, and what we do that I will literally pay to curate that. I,
You mentioned something earlier. You said uh if you have good stock, they'll can you say whatever that phrase was
if
again?
you if you what was it? I said if you lead with good stock, if you start with good stock, you'll end up with good stock or something like that.
Basically, if the source is good or you have good stock, that it's like you're gonna usually get a good person or a good outcome at the end of it.
Yes.
And like I would agree with that. One caveat is pending it's in the right environment.
Boom.
You can have good stock or someone that like actually has greatness or sees a greatness, put them in the wrong environment and they're fucked. Put it in a fitness example, you can have somebody who actually has the best genetics,
Yes.
who would grow like astronaut, who would lose fat, like place them in a environment where their partner is like not trying to lose what they're eating ice cream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The environment matters. And so it's like at a certain point, at least for me, what I figured out is socially, to bring it back to business, yeah, I'm gonna be me, but also too, I don't even have a desire to be around anybody else that doesn't think the same way that I do. Where it's like if something good happens and I can actually say it's connected to you, at a minimum, I'm gonna do something to point to you. And so it's like the environment matters and everything.
You know, we ran through our hour and I know you're a busy man, but literally that's what I'm willing to pay for. The
Yeah.
environment, the environment. People, oh, why she gonna
But
pay
that's
for
why you get coaches too.
Yes,
That's
yes,
that's
it
a
is.
whole nother conversation. But
Yes,
coaches, trainers, like,
yes.
yeah.
As we wrap up, now I would like you to tell everyone again what T2T results is.
The longer I've built the business, the more I actually realize what we do.
I know.
um, from a program perspective, it's the whole forest fires don't need to be egged on or at fuel added. They need to be contained, right? However, when it's smaller, it's just starting.
Yeah.
Anything can knock it off, right? And especially when you're just starting in your fitness journey, when you're like, oh, I want to be better. Like it could be anything. Stayed a job too late, like your friends say something silly to you, anything can really knock you off. And I've started to realize like that support and accountability really is the biggest thing that we can actually help you from falling off or getting basically that flame getting blown out, so you can actually get to a point to where it's like you're bigger to where now you can actually make good your own good decisions, right? Because when you're at a spot like me and other people are telling you that you look great, at that point you don't need it. Ironically enough, you needed it way back then,
Yeah,
but
you didn't
nobody
get
was
it then.
there, and that's why you get coaches, right? So from a program standpoint, that's what we help people with. Outside of the fact that now we have this massive community of over 300 something people that also are just like you, so you can actually feel a part of something. That if you actually travel, you can actually find people in your city to like connect with, and from a social aspect, it's actually getting pretty cool too. But I would say those are the two biggest things outside of, yes, obviously we know how to build good workouts, and yes, we're gonna help you with your food. But like, I think those are the two biggest things: that support and environment, the supportive environment where you're gonna get accountability, and the community.
Yeah, yeah, I'll end with this. As human beings, we were not designed to be alone. We were not designed to live on an island by ourselves. Community is everything. Everything. And that's what
Yep.
matters. Okay. Season one, I did give 3 words that inspire and empower you. Watch this. For season two, make a wish. Say it out loud so that it is charged in the atmosphere. If you could wish for anything except more wishes, what would you wish for?
That my path continue to be challenging, so that I can, but never. It's always just challenging enough
Yeah.
to where I'm always on the brink of feeling like, can I do this? This is something new. And so I'm wishing or continued path of struggle so that I can become who I need to become
Yeah.
and achieve my goal, which is being somebody that I'm proud of. The only cool thing is the longer that I live, now I have more reference points in the past that, of course, you can make it because you've already done this before. Last time it was this hard, you overcame it. But I actually would wish that it's like I continue to have a difficult path and that I become the type of person uh, who chooses to overcome it
Yeah.
for me.
So beautiful. Tell everybody where they can find you if they want trainer, if they want friends, if they want anything. Tell everybody
My Instagram handle is letter T again, results. That's it. And click the link in bio.
Yeah.
Everything's there.
Hold on, don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Mr. James Patrick, my friend, whom I love dearly, of T2T results. That body.
The box. I gotta get one of those. I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, you deserve this. 'Cause look at that body. Look at that body. Don't
We're
go.
getting there.
I gotta
No, we're getting
look
there.
at it
For
one last time. Back up just a little bit. Just give us a fade out.
sure.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Big ass head. I don't know.
You got a good head. Okay, come back. Come back. The show.
I'm still trying to figure out how to flex, Fred. But
Oh
I
yeah.
never actually wanted to be. Yeah, I never actually want to be a bodybuilder. I just want to. I think I want to see what I look like 250 solid, and that's the reason why I'm
Yeah.
bulking up to 265 right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna cut and be 250 like mostly muscle, and I think I'm just gonna stay there.
Whatever you do, you keep it because it look
It's
good.
gonna be great.
It look
Yeah, it's doing great.
like,
It's great, right?
Yeah.
It's great, right?
Let me stop.
Got a
We
couple
can
more
stop it.
things to change, but yeah,
Right? It's
looking
great.
great.
And it makes the tattoos pop. Like the
It's
tattoos
great
so
for
crazy.
sure. I never actually thought I'd look this good, to be honest. I actually think this is
You
this
look
is
like
way
a
better than I
gladiator.
thought.
You look like a
It's
fucking
for sure.
gladiator. Like you look
So,
like a gladiator.
so we're gonna do more shoulders.
Yeah.
I want more lats because
Okay.
right now, like my lats are good, but like I want this a little bit more.
Yeah.
I want my lower back to
Okay.
have like that weird like separation to where it's like it looks like you
I've
almost
seen
have
it.
armor on.
Yeah, we've seen it.
And then the rest of it's going into my legs since people don't realize this, but like I'm a lot bigger than people think. Like my arms are 18 and a half, a little bit bigger. Like that was at the start of my bulk. My legs at the start of my bulk were 26 and a half inches. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't look that way because I'm 6'4".
Yeah.
But put on a little bit more mass in my arms and my legs, but like that's really it, man. I'm and then I'm be okay. Like I know when I have enough, like I will be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Don't go away.
If you're serious about going from bird chest to bouncing man meat, growing toothpick arms into massive guns, or you just wanted to see how your life would change if you didn't have to consider the gut or love handles with each fashion choice without having to piece together a million Instagram reels, winging it on a diet that you know that you're not going to keep up with, or feeling uncomfortable with a trainer that you're paying to help you get results, then this is for you. I am James, founder of T2T Fitness, and we have helped over 400 gay men change their bodies into bodies that they are absolutely proud of over the past 2 years. I want you guys to know very clearly what this is and what this is not, what we do and don't do here at T2T Fitness. We create custom plans for each and every one of our clients and their needs. As far as the workouts, we're going to build something uniquely aligned to you and your goals. If you're newer to the gym, we'll get you started with some beginner workouts that will get you going in a way that you can keep up and sustain instead of going from 0 to 1,000 like most new people and being so burnt out after your first week that you don't know if you want to actually keep this up. We have a form check program that will keep each and every one of you beginner safe. If you're more advanced in the gym and you're just not seeing results because you've gone to the extent of your knowledge and you're plateauing, you can't move forward and you feel like you're stuck, we're going to diagnose why you're not progressing in our launch process and put together a plan to begin to move you forward and get results again. If you're busy as shit, we adapt this plan around any schedule or lifestyle to keep it aligned with with the goal so we can make this as easy as possible for you to overcome being busy or being in different locations multiple times a week. We do not do generic here. If you have a specific physique goal, whether you want to look like a muscle bear, a twunk, anything like that in between, we can actually get you there. The nutrition advice given here will be wrapped around your specific likes, dislikes, limitations, and what's available to you. That way we can create a diet that you'll actually stick to this time and break the cycle of yo-yo diets, elimination diets, or gaining mass only to lose it a few weeks later. Each one of you is going to have myself and another coach that's going to get to know your goals and assist in keeping you on track. As well as we're going to plug you into a community of over 200 gay men to provide opportunities for you to make friends, learn faster, and have fun while you're achieving your goal. So, if you're just looking for an app with some workouts and no support, if you're looking for a meal plan with no support, if you're looking for a coach who's going to inconsistently check up on you and give you the same workouts that they probably just gave Ian 30 minutes ago, while not providing any real helpful feedback, then this is not the program for you. In which case, by all means, do not book the call. But if you were looking for something that is uniquely built for you, that's wrapped around your life, that's actually going to teach you what you need to know so that you can not only get the results, but so that you can keep them in your life and not have to do this again next year, so that you can become a better version of yourself, then click the button below. You'll complete a quick form that'll allow you to set a time with us. Someone from the team will reach out to you as soon as possible, and then we can go into next step, plugging you into the best system for a gay man to feel fun, sexy, confident, and connected.
So did you enjoy? Was the conversation everything you thought it would be? It was for me. I love catching up with my friends. It was absolutely amazing. So if you thought it was amazing, please continue to watch, comment, like, and share. And most of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you, and I do this for you. Good, wholesome content about self-love, self-confidence, and self-healing. The Queen of Shade loves you all. Remember my name, the Queen of Shade. Mwah.
You could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. And I wish you could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy.
Please subscribe to the Queen of Shades YouTube today for over 1,000 original videos created by the Queen herself. Subscribe today.
Turn that TV down.